On today's show, we guess the mystery monster coming in this next update, trivia is back, and finally we determine if IGN's top 10 Monster Hunter monsters list is well done or well dung. So don't forget your hot drinks as we ready up for this episode of the Palibros. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of the Palibros, a podcast where a group of friends get together to talk about anything and everything Monster Hunter. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, and the first to cart, Patrick Jovez. Alongside me, we have the Mixette Maniac, Brian.
Hey everyone, good to be back.
The Hunting Horn Elitist, Max.
How's it going, everybody?
And so tasty, Ryan.
Supreme pun at the beginning, my friend. I just have to hat tip you. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I actually saw in the corner of my eye, Max was drinking, and I was like, fuck, I gotta remember his name because I want to call him out while he's drinking. I want to be like, the Hunting Horn Elitist Max. And I just spit takes everywhere. But yeah, how's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah, pretty good.
More and more time in the game. It's been great.
Yeah, Brian, I'm glad to see you back, Brian, because I don't know if you knew this, but, you know, from the last episode, since you were out, you got carded by a Kungalala.
Oh, god damn it.
Did you get
that's the story I've heard.
So that's what I come back.
That's the rumors. The rumor mill is swirling, yeah.
No, I wasn't prepared to come back to that.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, you got carded by a stinky monkey and you didn't have deodorant is the rumor, so you might want to, kind of shoot down the accusations while you have a moment.
Mm-hmm. Let the truth be known.
Yeah, also, I don't know if you saw, Brian, from last episode, but Monster Hunter and Secret Lab has a collaboration. Sure. So
yeah, getting them. I'm
not getting a chair, but I did order a Palico like lumbar support pillow.
Hey,
nice,
there you go.
Yeah, fucking. I looked at it was funny because I found that article like maybe the day or two before we recorded, and then I went to go check. Like I never wanted to get the Fatalis one because one is it's like not matching the black and orange for my Secret Lab chair. Yeah. And then two, I was like, there's a Palico one, so I'm gonna get that one. And then when I went to check to order it, like probably the day after we shot, it was like Fatalis was like all out. And I was like, oh, no one wanted the fucking Palico one? Y'all are crazy.
I guess I wanted the whole time. You're gonna have double lumbar support because your Titan chair has lumbar built in.
It does.
Does it not work anymore?
It's weird though. I don't think it's real. It's fake. It's fucking
Your
imaginary.
It's not real.
Placebo lumbar support.
Yeah, because it's just like I don't know. It's like I feel like there's something like an arm or something that's like it's like a very small person just like barely punching me in the back.
You're like I need
I don't really get it. It's like a balloon or something. But anyways,
you'll be good.
Starting with some housekeeping for you. Starting March 18th through the 25th, you have 2 event quests. Actually 3. You can get some glowing sword orbs from hunting the tempered Lalabrina in the Scarlet Forest from the event quest Ballet in the Rain. Must be HR 21 plus or up.
Ballot in the rain.
Thank you. There was like 2 parts of that sentence. I was like, I'll call it ballet. And then 2, I don't know why I want to say 21-year-old and up. Second, you can also get glowing armor orbs by hunting the Doshiguma in the Windward Plains from the event quest Sand Scarred Soul. You must be HR 9 and up for this one. And lastly, March 18th through April 1st, you can get your hands on Expedition Gear Alpha by hunting a Raytheon in the Windward Plains from the event quest Like a Fire Hidden in sand? What the fuck? Like a fire hidden by sand. Must be HR 9 and up. Now, with all that out the way, let me remind you that this is the Palibros podcast, where each and every episode we try to keep you up to date on the latest Monster Hunter news, play Monster Hunter trivia, yay, it's back, and in general talk about one of our favorite franchises. So don't forget, you can get each and every episode on youtube.com, Spotify, and a variety of podcast services. And if you like that, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing this video with friends, and hitting that bell icon to help support us and to know when each of the latest episodes are posted. Also, for all the podcast services, if you guys could go and give us a good rating, maybe I can get a chair that matches my Palico lumbar support spine pillow. Maybe we can get more chairs for the Max and Brian and Ryan, or like, who knows, we'll get some chairs for my kids.
No one does any of that. Don't subscribe. Don't listen. Don't review.
Yeah,
I'm trying to neg them, guys. Hang on, I got this. Don't like us. Don't subscribe. Okay, I'm done.
And with all of that out the way, let's begin our show with the latest in Monster Hunter news. Today in Monster Hunter news, we have 3 stories. I feel like I should say try there. I don't know.
Ooh,
our first story, Monster Hunter Wild's next big update will include something more challenging than tempered monsters. This article is written by George Foster over there at thegamer.com. Capcom has shared some more details about Monster Hunter Wild's next big update, including the fact that it'll include an addition that's more challenging than tempered monsters. As pointed out on the Monster Hunter subreddit by Redditor I Am Nanaki, a recent social media post outlined some of the things coming in April's update. The most noteworthy addition is an addition that will prove even more challenging than tempered monsters, which leaves things pretty vague overall. Now, we didn't get that news last week from I Am Nanaki. I'm sure that was great for them to point out. We got it from our very own Max over here, so good job, Max. Most fans seem to think that Capcom is teasing some kind of new type of tempered monster, which would likely mean combining some elements. Some of the theories suggest in the thread point to the return of arch-tempered monsters from World, or perhaps a frenzy-tempered monster type, which certainly seems like it'd offer more of a fight for players who have already completed high rank. Those suggestions seem a bit obvious, but fans argue that Capcom doesn't seem like it's done with arch-tempered monsters just yet. It could also be something brand new that we've not seen in the series before, but that does raise the question of why it wasn't included in the first place. Either way, we'll find out for sure when the update drops in April.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I feel like it was kind of poignant to still include this as a new story, even though we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. But yeah, I guess we already knew a lot about Title Update 1. We already kind of knew that there's like some extra kind of monster coming in, but so I wanted to, instead of kind of like diving more into that same story, I wanted to just kind of lock in like our guess for what we think that new kind of monster is. Does anyone want to take the first stab at it?
This would be the second monster?
Yes, this would be the second monster. We know the Mizutsune's is coming, but based on this, like, there's like another kind of giant predator that's going to be super hard to fight, right? I think Max kind of led off last week with Rajang, but I'm not sure if he wants to lock that one in.
I am going to say, I think they're going to pull a Monster Hunter Rise, in that I think there's going to be more main content. I know they did kind of tie off the story nicely, but they can't have Gormagala and not have Shigar Magala in the game. And so I think my guess is going to be Shigar Magala at some point.
Okay. What about you,
or
Ryan?
Rajang, but that's kind of cheating.
We're going off the Zoids bit, right?
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I part of me wants to say, you know, Lagai Chris, just because I think it's going to be so popular, but it's too similar to Mitsutsume, I think, for it to be this early. I think they will bring it back at some point. Honestly, I would really love to see a new monster. You know what I mean? Like, I like something that's in the new art style and the new kind of, you know, ethos of this genre, or this, not genre, but this game specifically. Yeah. So, you know, I'm gonna go a little bit wild here and say it's a monster we've never seen before. It's like a brand new guy.
Okay, I like that answer.
I do think that they've kind of, the fact that this is coming out so late into the story for high rank kind of excludes quite a few monsters in my mind. Although, I mean, I would say that when Gormagala was introduced, it was like 2/3 of the way through the story. It was not like the ultimate or penultimate monster in its title game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but they've buffed it up and they made it bigger and scarier, and so it doesn't necessarily mean it couldn't be a number of things. But there's a lot of things I'd like to see that I think are probably too early or too mid game of a monster for them to put it in as hyping it as being more threatening than the tempered monsters. I feel like that kind of narrows it a little bit.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
Yeah.
Any specific monster you think you want to lock in?
Lock in as a second guess? Yeah. I mean, I know I have my wants with it, which I think is what a lot of people on Reddit have for maybe other title updates, where hopefully we see more of the Fated 4 from the Generation series. So I think, like a lot of people on the community, and myself included, want to see the return of Gameth. If we can have something the size of Jindal in the game, I think Gameth, she can fit in the game. So we need to get that started. I would not imagine that would be the second monster in this first title update, but hey, if they can end in title update 4 with Gameth, that'd be really cool. I totally see just like it either being like Rojang, like we saw with that Zoids crossover, or just some variant of one of the monsters that we already see. So maybe like a Pink Rathian or a Zorathlos or something like that.
Now, are you saying Gameth as a pierced bowgun user, or are you saying that as a Monster Hunter player?
Both, but mostly Pierce. I want to see that sweet hit zones. That sponge. Yes, that was too good.
My guess, and this is like 100% going to happen, it's a Plesioth. Come on, guys. It's time. It's time. We get the fish.
Only if the hitboxes are really bad.
I want that. I
want them to make it bad on purpose.
Yeah, I want to be hit like when it's hip check time. If you are dead set in the middle of that thing, there's no going out. It's like a hole in the wall, except for there is an actual hole. It just looks like it. Honestly, I kind of agree with Ryan. Like, I would like to see something completely new. Like, I know the game just came out, so I don't know if they actually have something that they had hidden as a new monster. I feel like they'd want to kind of show that, but maybe I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. But
I think it's unlikely, although it is what I would like.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Because we're getting a returning monster, which is the Mizutsune, which is also like a huge like monster that everyone kind of like already likes, since it's like introduction into generations. So like it would be kind of cool if you had something new.
My honest guess is that like they're not going to do new like wilds monster until the first DLC, the first proper DLC. But I would like if they had something, new, not just recycled, but that's the strength of Monster Hunters. They have like 100 other monsters they can bring in, like literally 100 other monsters they can bring in now. So
one other thing that comes to mind, as I can't really amend my guess, but we haven't really. Zoshia is still a one and done fight. Yeah. So it's entirely possible they could bring out like a tempered Zoshia or like a frenzied Zoshia or something as like
that's true,
the ultimate fight, or as like the repeatable version, because we still can't do that, and they put too much work into that, hyping that fight up for it to just be a one and done.
Well, and I was also thinking
it's going to come back at some point. The question is just when.
And as I was formulating my answer too, I was also thinking about the fact that like we still don't really have like the emblem monster, like every Monster Hunter's emblem is its like, end game, super dragon. But the circular dragon formations in the wilds icon, we don't know what that is. We still don't know what it is. I thought for sure by end of high rank we would know what that is, but we don't. I read somewhere online that someone predicted that it's like, or their theory on this is like, oh, it's supposed to be infinity, and all these circles are meant to like, and these like infinity kind of loops from the dragon's long slender bodies are meant to represent, like the coalescence of nature and everything kind of coming together and being circular, life and death, and predator prey and everything. I thought that was a nice answer, but it seems almost like a waste to have such a cool design and like not have whatever that is be some sort of fightable monster, because that's been the case, at least to some degree. I mean, especially with Rise, like you got the what was the couple, the ancient dragon couple that you got to fight? I mean, that was, you saw them in the icon art well before you even were introducing them into the story.
So I'm looking at a Reddit post right now that sees a pretty convincing breakdown of what the logo means. There is the one dragon that's sort of intertwined throughout.
Right. It might be the same one that I was thinking of.
It's like all of the logos that are like around there's the little symbols around the main intertwining logo in the center, and apparently the those designs of those patterns correspond with like the backgrounds of like the main couple monsters in the game, like the background that's like the splash art behind the Raidao and the Udra and the Avduna. So like it's like all mapped out to where like there's one piece that just seems like it doesn't make sense. So maybe like that's like the missing key that we're kind of looking for to fill in. But
it would be really impressive if they already, were like dropping, future DLC stuff in the original key art. But I kind of hope, because it feels like there's a little bit left undiscovered, like you said, with the Zoshia and with the icon of the emblem of this game.
Oh, so as for looks like it might be like the symbol is symbolic of like the ruins of Wyveria, and like the intertwining portion might be like the Wilk stream or whatever it was in the story.
I was also thinking about that as well. Like it might have to do with something with Wyveria, which also, again, after everything's said and done, we don't really know that much of it. Like I keep seeing posts, people being like, how do we not have like a full Wyveria map? This place is so cool. It's so Dark Souls. Like people posting like just this week being like, wait, this is in the game? And like it's people posting videos of them leaving Ice Shard Cliffs and going to Suja or something, and then like you have to pass through like Wyveria, but it's only like a slim little thing that you can actually walk on. You can't fight anything there. So people are like begging, they're like, please give us an actual Wyveria map.
And my life is yours.
Yeah, that sounds pretty wild. Monster Hunter wild. And moving on to our second story, Monster Hunter multiplayer etiquette is at an all-time low. This comes by way of The Gamer and is written by Eric Switzer. I am sincerely thrilled to see so many new Monster Hunter players getting into the franchise thanks to Monster Hunter Wilds. It's been weeks since launch, and Wilds is still seeing close to 1 million peak concurrent players, and that's just on PC alone. My social media feed is filled with Monster Hunter memes and reactions from newcomers to some of the series' most iconic and idiosyncratic conventions, and I hope all of them have had a great experience and intend to stick with the game as it grows over the next couple of years. No gatekeeping from the old guard here, I promise. But can I offer some constructive criticism? I've got a little advice that is going to help you a lot on your Monster Hunter journey. See, don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of you are in desperate need of a little etiquette lesson on how to properly hunt with other people. I don't think it's your fault. New hunters should always have veteran friends around to show them the ropes. There are a lot of little things you're expected to do when you're playing online that you probably don't know about. So let me be your Monster Hunter mentor. Follow these rules if you want to become a better, or at least less annoying hunter to play with. Basically, the rest of the article gives tips more seasoned hunters should already know. Things like don't wake sleeping monsters without a barrel bomb alarm clock. Focus on the right spot for your weapon, i.e. like if you deal KO damage, you want to aim for the head. If you deal cut damage, you should look to sever tails and stuff like that. Basically, don't bunch up if not necessary. Equip shock absorber jewel so you don't constantly get knocked out of attacking animations, which will lessen your DPS output. And lastly, this is like the big one. Lastly, stick with a hunt and don't be the reason your team fails. To summarize this one, I agree it is actually bad manners and not because people are new to the game. Basically, people answer SOS flares to come help, but either stay AFK to get free rewards when they come in, or either stay AFK to get free rewards, or they come in, cart twice, and leave before they cart again, or spam flares looking for gold crown monsters and leave as soon as they find out there isn't one. you know, yeah, with how big Monster Hunter Wilds is, there's a huge uproar in new players and stuff like that. You know, has anyone kind of like ran into these problems? I've only really been able to play with you guys because I have such limited time. So when I do get on, it's usually just with the Palibros. But has anyone? I think Ryan, you probably have like the most time out of all of us now, right?
Yeah, I was playing a lot, just solo dolo, just offline hunting. I was playing with our buddy Rorik the other day though, and it was funny because we had this kind of like tacit agreement, like unspoken agreement, because we weren't on comms. I think we were just kind of both being very casual about that play session, and it was like we'd alternate, right? And so whenever I was in charge of the thing, it was just me and him taking on some tempered, baddie and just getting kind of wrecked a little bit. And every time it was his turn, he would put an SOS flare up every single time. But it was nice that he never did it. He always let me incite the SOS, and I never did it. But yeah, we played with a bunch of randoms. So that, yeah, my experience with it has been pretty limited as well. But when we did play, it was fairly positive. But I think I would prefer to play with the homies, and if the homies aren't around, then I would rather not at all. Not to say that I've personally had any bad experiences, even with my limited thing, but I am reading kind of what you're reading. I'm reading what this author is like experiencing, and so I just don't think the game is hard enough right now to warrant, risking
like crown farming and stuff like that.
Yeah, and also, as much as I'm enjoying this game, I just don't see myself crown farming. Like, I hope to get it naturally eventually, but I've also haven't made any level 8 Arshan weapons yet because I did it when I first got access to it. And I was like, wow, this is really good. Makes all the other weapons obsolete. So, there's not totally a lot of reason to farm the highest level stuff right now or have a really buttoned up team. But even then, I'm still a little wary of some of the community things that I'm starting to read about and some of the less than desirable attributes. I mean, it can't be helped. The game is so successful, you're going to have some dorks who come in and kind of ruin your thing. So we're lucky enough to have a big enough group that we don't really have to worry about it very much. But I will say that it is kind of frustrating for sure, to even have to consider it.
Yeah. If you're listening to the show right now, the police sirens are on our end. You're not being pulled over. What about you, Max?
So I haven't played online with randoms a lot. I haven't personally run into any issues with people doing any of these things. That being said, I kind of disagree with the notion that the etiquette's at an all-time low. I think it's always been this bad. I think that it's just the ability to join quests late. It really kind of enables people, because the one thing that I have seen a lot is people joining at the last 30 seconds of a hunt. So people are waiting until only joining the missions that are 8, 9, 10 minutes in, when you basically know that the monster's almost dead. And so, you'll pop a flare and then nobody joins. And then all of a sudden the monster is at death's door and then 3 people join.
Right.
and then sometimes they don't even get a single hit in because they don't have enough time to get to the monster.
Wow.
But I mean, going back to even the old days before Monster Hunter blew up in the West, you'd always have the people join your hunter hall or whatever and run up and immediately post their urgent quest. And it's no, the etiquette is to alternate, and so you do one of my quests and then I'll help you with the urgent quest. And so I mean, that's all longsword mains got the stigma in the olden days, was because of the being inconsiderate with how easy it was to trip other players using longsword by spamming their spirit slashes.
You hear that, Jason? That's why you're not on this week's show.
But I mean, there's more tools than ever to deal with it. I mean, you can put one small decoration like shock absorber, and it completely negates that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah, I think you were playing. I think we were playing a little bit last night, Brian. Did you? And if it sounded like a couple people were carding, but I'm not sure if that was because they were bad manners or stuff like that. Have you run into any of these instances?
Yeah, you bring up a good point. So when I had that happen last night, it was primarily with some of the harder missions. So like everyone else here, I've played primarily with our own group, and we were all pretty good with our etiquette. My expansion into SOS flares has been more recent with doing some of the rarity 8 missions for some of those better reward drops on like a tempered Arkfeld or tempered Gore Gala. And those things hit really hard, especially when you get to the T5 difficulty. So for all those who aren't really aware, there are a star count rating for monsters. You do see it as well when you use your binoculars on a monster. It also displays on the quest when you accept it or start it, ranging from 3 to 5 stars. Tempered monsters also have 3 to 5, and that is considered T. The non-tempered monsters are usually considered N, so N 3 through 5 or T 3 through 5. When you do a T5 Arkfeld or Gore Magala, you're gonna get one shot, especially if your armor isn't fully upgraded. And that's what I was noticing a lot in my play sessions these last couple of days is I don't think people were doing bad etiquette. I think they just got hit and they didn't realize they were going to go down that fast. We'd have missions end in like a minute. So
Damn.
I don't think it's necessarily their fault. I just don't think they're used to that level of damage there.
I mean, I was soloing a tempered Arkfeld earlier at level 5, and I'm feeling pretty confident with this game. I got probably, maybe more hours than any of us, and I was getting fucking bodied by that thing. Oh my goodness! Well, we were also fighting in the downward spiral of like the Wyveria area, so it was very narrow. So all of his attacks are very big and sweeping. So I was like, I knew his patterns, and I was blocking him, and even still, it was like, even with fully just like standing there with my block up, I was losing like 50% of my health on his like beginning attacks. I was like, wow.
Your damage is real.
Yeah, I switched to bow. It was not enough room, and it was hitting really hard. I was like, wow, okay, this is people are complaining it's easy, but it gets hard. I knew it would.
Right.
I wonder how much the mentality of optimal play is kind of hindering people, and that like if you go online and you start looking up like what are the optimal sets, it's like all damage. And that is good in a sense that, if you're trying to do speed runs, then you want to run all damage. So I wonder how many people just are not running any defensive skills.
Oh, I don't have. Is it guard up that allows you to block things that might otherwise Yeah. So like I could easily be running 3 points. Yeah, I could easily be running 3 points of guard up, especially because Greatsword is much more of a defensive, option now. But it hasn't really mattered up until very recently. But yeah, some of that stuff is really difficult. So
I was going to say too that the only kind of etiquette that I've noticed in my SOS flares has been similar to what this article talks about with using a barrel bomb alarm clock. Sometimes we don't have barrel bombs, or sometimes people want to add some extra damage with those barrel bombs with a larger weapon hit. And I think a lot of people aren't online taking into account, well, who's got the best weapon for the job? Someone may have a greatsword who can easily get that triple charge or true charge / going with the focus mode edition of the game, but they won't allow that person to set up for that. They'll just go, oh, I have, dual blades.
I have a stone.
Just do the biggest dual blades hit I can. And you're like, oh, come on. Or someone has a heavy bow gun and they might have Wyvern Fire on there, or a gun lance with Wyvern Fire. So maybe more that. And then kind of adjacent to that would be people not recognizing that some people use sleep as an ailment in their weapons or on their bow guns, and a monster being sleeped midway through the fight. And you can literally see the animation of them falling asleep, but they don't care and they just keep attacking. Though I'd like to think there may be some people accidentally are like stuck in a some sort of charge blade animation.
I feel like me and
I
Max
feel like I'm
attacked. I'm like, Pat, how many times does that happen? You're like, I can't stop. I'm sorry.
It was my first monster hunter. Okay, leave me alone.
I was gonna say we're pretty experienced, and it feels like sleep is so tough, even with your buds, like, because paralysis basically gives you a similar window, but it's like there's no chance of messing it up. Like if like you don't have to pay as close attention. So maybe it's just maybe sleep is just not the status that you want to be running for wilds. I don't know.
Well,
even
randos.
If randoms or otherwise,
I mean, for me, this is it's interesting because I may have rose tinted glasses, but I remember it was either 3 Ultimate or it was like 4 Ultimate it was like the Wii U and 3DS combo. I believe it was 4 Ultimate that I played, and that was like a huge thing. I ended up buying both copies because I was like one of the 12 people that bought a Wii U. And like I was like, this is so fucking cool. Like that was the one where I kind of took off with Monster Hunter after Freedom Unite and stuff like that, because I was like,
you convinced me to buy a Wii U because of that, and it's sitting in my freaking
no
closet,
way,
man.
did I really?
No.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta play with the boys,
that's
dude.
fucking hilarious. But
I own like that and Super Smash. They're the only two games for that I own. I don't even think I ever owned a Wii. I owned a Wii U because of
dude, the Wii U is
ass.
fucking great. But anyways, I actually got really high ranked really fast. Got all my materials that I needed faster. I probably rose a lot faster than you guys kind of at the time, just because I had online. And from my like, I guess hindsight or kind of bad memory is like, I remember etiquette not really being bad at all. Like I kind of just felt like I was playing with you guys when you guys weren't on, you know. It was like everyone posted on the quest board what they wanted to play. We got into like full hunts. We all kind of knew what to do, and of course the community was a lot smaller back then, so it kind of felt like there were more people that knew exactly what they were doing. So even if we didn't have the best communication or any communication, thanks Nintendo for online implementation, but like I guess the people that were like super into Monster Hunter at the time were the people that looked up to like Gaijin Hunter or like the Monster Hunter wiki, and like kind of had this full sense of like how to like, kind of play the game. So from what I remember, like grinding for the things that I wanted and stuff like that, I remember it being pretty easy. So when Wilds came out, I was like, oh cool, they have the SOS flares. There's good, like Monster Hunter fucking World sold 1 million right before Wilds came out, so I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna be throwing this SOS flare and be hunting with a whole bunch of new people. And to my dismay, like I've been popping flares left and right whenever I get on when the other Palibros aren't on, and I'm like not getting shit. And I'm like, this is weird. Like I'm still playing this single player. I'm having fun because it's Monster Hunter, but I'm like I think one of the biggest aspects of Monster Hunter, one of the funnest aspects, is hunting with people. You know, like it's such a community game. It basically was like Capcom's answer to PSO when Monster Hunter first came out on PS2. So, you know, like I like the community aspect of it. It just, for like right now, for as big as the community is, I haven't been able to play with any random people at all. It's just kind of a weird thing that I've kind of wanted to do, you know?
I mean, I think you nailed it on the head. Like, it is such about playing with other people, to the point where whenever I convince someone, or I'm trying to convince someone of like picking up the game, I like make them like a pinky promise. I'm like, I promise to Sherpa you through the beginning of the game. You know what I mean? Because it makes such a huge difference. Like you want to play with your buddies. Like it you know, it enhances the experience.
Or make
like,
new ones
so much.
But yeah. Moving on to our last story, Monster Hunter Wild Spring Update brings back Mizutsune new quests and enhancements. This article comes by way of 9meters.com and is written by Caitlin Pauley. Now I know this kind of sounds like a rehash of topic number 1, but there are a couple of important articles in here, parts of the article that I ended up pulling. So we're going to skip over the stuff that we already kind of know, and we're going to dive into those new ones. So, and if you haven't read it, go ahead and give Caitlin Pauley the click over there at 9meters.com. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. But heading into the article, addressing player feedback, more challenge, better balance. While Monster Hunter Wilds has been widely praised for its gorgeous visuals and expansive ecosystems, some veteran players have voiced concerns that the base game leans on the easier side compared to earlier entries like Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Capcom appears to be listening. Title Update 1 will introduce tuning adjustments to monster behavior and attack patterns, aimed at increasing the overall challenge and making hunts more rewarding for experienced players. Balancing tweaks are also expected across multiple types. While Capcom hasn't released exact patch notes, fans speculate improvements to underused weapons like the hunting horn and adjustments to damage scaling from ranged weapons may be on the way. Max, I'm sure you're happy about that one.
Yeah, I was like, Max, do you want me to do it, or you want to vindicate it?
Other parts of this article that I pulled were new monsters introduction. The first title update will introduce several other monsters to expand the hunting experience. These new creatures will bring unique fighting styles and challenges for hunters to overcome. Players can expect varying difficulty levels with these monster additions. The development team has mentioned creating more balanced encounters that will appeal to both veteran hunters and newcomers to the series. But what's that you say, Ryan? You said we thought we were only getting one extra monster besides the Mitsune. Well, now it says there's going to be several monsters coming from this next expansion, or I guess DLC update. So I guess we have a couple more monsters to lock in. Do you guys have any other things that, I mean, what did you say, Brian? You wanted to see something else?
Fated 4.
Yeah, the other Fated 4. I mean, you might get all of them, right?
That'd be cool in one title update.
Yeah.
I think they might not blow their load though. they're notorious for doing multiple, title updates.
I mean, that may be true, but there, like you said, there's hundreds of other monsters to pick from.
Yeah,
so, I actually, when I kind of read this, I was like, what do you mean several other monsters? Like, you're having the Mizutsune, that's like the big one. We have this mystery monster that's going to be like the apex, like predator or some shit, right? And then I was thinking, I was like, wait, weren't there trailers for like Legiacris and like Nargacuga and stuff like that? Or was I tripping? Like they confirmed. I don't know if there were trailers, but I remember seeing confirmations that these monsters would be in there. So I'm thinking maybe we might get a lot more returning monsters. But what do you guys think?
I would love that. Or if they were to continue to kind of play on some of the theme, because would we argue Mizutsune is kind of more of the Japanese style and theme of Rise? I wonder if they bring in something like Zenogre, because didn't that come in Portable Third, which was a very
you just want your boy back
entry. I want my boy back. He's number one. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think the structure will be whatever they announce is going to be the big monster, and then it'll be like a deep cut. Would be my prediction. It won't be like Mitsune and then surprise it's Zenogre. I feel like it'll be like, oh, update 2, it's Zenogre, and then surprise it's Rajang or something. Like I think if they want to put like the best thing out front and center, and then like it'll be something more cheeky as like this as like the second or third question mark monster. I can't imagine they would like not tell everyone that Zenogre is coming.
Yeah, too big of an uproar. Maybe we'll see Red Helm Arzros. Bring him back.
I want to, if they're going for deep cuts, I want like Najarala or like a Queen Celtis or something.
Yeah. I was just thinking deep cuts. Hermitor, yeah. Hermitor, Sanator. I love those ones. Yeah, I'm really thinking it's gonna be Plesioth and Giratotus. Let's fucking go. Double down.
Please no, not Giratotus.
What's wrong with
whatever? Like no, please.
You guys suck.
What about like something like a Diablos or something? Like popular but not too popular kind of thing.
Diablos
like
seems
kind of
pretty popular, right? I mean, it was in the Mila Jovovich movie, so everyone knows about Black Diablo.
All right, that's actually look. As much as we feel a certain way about that movie, that's actually a pretty good point. Fair enough.
Yeah. Another thing that we pulled from the article was guilds and social interaction. The guild system in Monster Hunter Wilds creates a structured way for players to form lasting hunting parties. Guilds can establish their own headquarters, display trophies from successful hunts, and coordinate regular hunting schedules. Social hubs serve as gathering points where hunters can show off their gear, share hunting tips, and organize upcoming expeditions. These spaces include training grounds, practice combos, and test weapons together, which is nice. You get to like help people learn the weapons and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. Gathering hall, which we all knew and which we all were kind of like, why is there no gathering hall already in the game? Plan hunts and share meals for stat boosts. So if you card a bunch of times and you're in that same group, maybe you throw a voucher out there and we get us a free meal, huh? And this one that really caught my eye was a trading post. Exchange rare materials with other guild members. Now, as far as like trading materials goes, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't been able to do any sort of like, I guess, major material, like even like the lowest rarity monster material, we haven't really been able to trade, right? It would usually be like, oh, here's like some potions or honey or something like that.
I think in the old games it capped at like rarity 3 or something. It was like the highest that you could trade. which I don't even know if you could trade like Velociprey scales. Like you couldn't trade like any monster parts really.
Yeah, it was absolutely no monster part at all. It didn't matter how low it was. So exchanging rare materials with other guild members, we'll see what that is. I still don't think it's going to be monster parts because that would just kind of break the economy.
Yeah.
So
I think it will though, and I think it's because I think they're gonna continue to make this a very beginner friendly Monster Hunter, and the new part break system that makes it easier than ever to get like gems and rubies and plates and medullas and whatever. Like I kind of see them being very generous to like people who maybe don't have time to like hunt down a Rathian ruby or something. For us who've put a ton of time in it and are like very acutely aware of like saving investigations with like really good rewards and guaranteed gems and stuff, if this is your first Monster Hunter ever, you may not even have ever even seen a Rathian ruby, and so when you see the little part emblem on the forecast map or whatever, you may not even realize that that's a Uthduna water gem or something, and I need to make sure to save that investigation. So I don't think it'll be like rarity 7 and above, but I could see them like being pretty generous with it. And I only say that because like they've already been so generous. This is the most amount of drops I think we've ever gotten. I mean, it's like you're constantly getting stuff as you're playing.
That's why I kind of don't want them to go any further with it, to be honest. Like, it's so easy to get gems. Like, if you don't have any investigations, like, I don't know how much you've done this, Ryan, but if you go search for Uthduna investigations or Rathian investigations, right now you just get a wall of investigations. And among those, it's like you're almost guaranteed to be able to find one that gives you a guaranteed ruby. Like,
I just don't see them walking it back. They already designed the game this way.
I don't want there to be an incentive to not play the game. Like,
yeah, but I think if you're like us, you're not grinding gems. You're grinding, level 3 like hunter tickets, and you're grinding Arshan parts and armor decos. But so there is high level like grinding. It's just not armor and weapon related as much anymore.
I mean, the grinding is not for these parts, so like why make it even faster? Like, I would argue I've never had to fight a monster more than like 2 or 3 times tops to get all the parts I needed for any sort of weapon or piece of armor. And like, I think that's a good balance. I don't know why they would make it so. Well,
then you just don't opt into it. I think like if it's a part of the economy that's like so easy to get, like why would you even bother trading your friend? You can just go get it yourself in one hunt. I think it's more of a casual like feature is what I'm arguing.
I mean, only time will tell.
People who don't have time.
But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility from Ryan's perspective, but I highly, highly doubt that it would be any. It would be like any different.
I don't think it's gonna be gems and like really rare. I think it's gonna be, like you said before, you've never been able to trade above 3, which is fucking useless. But maybe the new trading cap is 5, which then you can actually trade some stuff that might be like annoying to grind out. Like, prime example, I never fought the Kedematrice, the Cuckoo Cuckoo, like more like very much in low rank, and I've fought it a handful of times in high rank. But like, if one of you just gifted me like an igniter, then I could like build like its whole greatsword tree like right now. But I don't want to go back and hunt the low rank version of it. That just is boring to me.
See, so that kind of doesn't make sense to me. Still, that's. Go ahead.
With high rank gear, that's like a 2 to 3 minute. That's like a 2-minute fight. Like, this is not like a serious time commitment to grind it out. Like, that needs to be. Sometimes like grind doesn't need to be skipped. Like, it's not like a grind that doesn't mean anything. Like, this is the core of the game. Like, why would you put in systems to skip past the core of the game? Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying it could benefit people like us if you're missing something really silly. But it's also probably more aimed at casual players.
I mean, we there's nothing set in stone, so we don't really know. So it's just it's all up in the air for right now. So it'll be interesting to see when that actually drops. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something totally like anticlimactic. And we're like,
You can
oh,
trade
okay,
honey
yeah.
now.
I mean,
Wait,
fuck,
what?
I'll take that shit. I need honey all day.
Yeah.
But that brings us
So
to
you guys
the
will
end.
be begging me for the level 4 mushrooms because you didn't do all the ecology grinding. Like
Yeah,
I did.
I don't. After the fucking story, I did not talk to that little boy anymore. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I want to go hunt monsters.
There is
Disrespect that little
there is
boy.
exclusive armor sets you can only get through trading with the different villages, so it's not worth totally sleeping on it.
You let me know when you want to trade for some.
I'll be as
for
quiet
some
as
Azure
possible.
Leather.
You know
Zeus leather.
leather.
Yeah, you let me know when you get that. You want to like fashion hunt that Zeus set, and I'll consider it. You know, for a donation.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of our news segment. And now, fellow hunters, the time has come, and so have I. That's right, it's time for Monster Hunter Trivia. On this episode of the Palibros, we're going to be playing Monstrous Measurements. Ooh, sounded like Sean Connery right there. In this game, each of our contestants will be given the names of 5 monsters that they will try to put in order of largest to smallest based on the Monster Hunter Wiki's large monster scale. This game will be 1 round only. They will be given 3 chances to get the order correctly. After each reveal, I'll tell them how many monsters they have in the correct order, with the third reveal being their final answer. For each monster they have in the correct space, it will net them 10 points. If a contestant gets a clean wipe, meaning they get all monsters in the correct order, I will double the points that they earned today and add them to the total, which means each of our contestants can walk away with a total of 100 points today.
Ooh.
Are there any questions before we start?
Can I have the answers now?
Yeah, I'll give you the answer now.
Big.
All right,
Just text them to me.
contestants, are you ready?
Sure.
All right, well, let's begin our first ever game of Monstrous Measurements. The 5 monsters that will be placed from largest to smallest are as follows. Let me bring up my notepad because I almost gave you all the actual answers.
Hell yeah. You know what, guys? Sometimes in life you just gotta ask for what you want.
Dude,
and
it's
you'll
been like
receive it,
fucking
you know?
3 episodes since we did trivia. I forgot how to do all this. All right, the 5 monsters that you guys will be trying to order from largest to smallest in a random order. I will give you the Valstrax, the Glavenus, the Brachydios, New Udra, and Duramboros. Do we need a repeat? Okay. Since there's no, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys 30 seconds to go ahead and write down that order. And
we're going longest, right?
we're going
Or largest.
We're going by the size count, and this is from the. You know how you guys get the smallest or the short or the largest size monster.
Yeah.
From the Monster Hunter Wiki, they have both, and I'm going with the largest size. From the Monster Hunter Wiki. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys 30 seconds. Go ahead and write your answers. And fellow hunters, thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. I'm really happy to see that this segment is back. Been waiting to get all the guys back together so we kind of have a fair fight for season 1. And if you like all the Monster Hunter news, all the Monster Hunter games, and generally just enjoy the show, go ahead and give us a like or a thumbs up. Please rate us well, because I would love a Monster Hunter themed chair. And thanks again for watching. All right, pencils down. Ryan, if you could go ahead and send me that text. Right on time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with Ryan's answer. He has from largest to smallest. Oh no, go ahead. You go ahead, Brian. You go ahead and say it.
The New Udra, the Glavy Babby, the Valley Baby, the Duran, and the Brachydios.
Okay. Go ahead, Max.
So I have from largest to smallest Valstrax, Duramboros, New Udra, Glavenus, and Brachydios.
Give that to me one more time.
Valstrax, Duramboros, New Udra, Glavenus, and Brachydios.
Okay. Go ahead and give it to me, Brian. Give it to me, Brian.
I have Duramboros, Valstrax, Glavenus, New Udra, Brachydios.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and start with Ryan. You have 0 monsters in the correct order.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I don't even know what 3 of those are, okay? So
Max, you have 3 of those monsters in the correct order. Brian, give me your list one more time.
Duramboros, Valstrax, Glavenus, New Udra, Brachydios.
Brian, you have 1 correct answer or correct monster in that order. We're going to go ahead and hit you with another 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pencils up. Let's go ahead and start with Max this time.
All right, so I swapped 2 of mine around. So I have from largest to smallest Valstrax, New Udra, Duramboros, Glavenus, Brachydios.
Go ahead.
I did the exact same thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's my exact
Okay.
order right now.
And Ryan.
Valstrax, New Udra, yeah.
Valtrax, Duran, Nudie Doody, Brachydios, and Glavenus. Glavy.
Okay. Okay. So, Max and Brian, you have 1 monster in the correct position. Ryan, you have 2. Final round. Let's go ahead and start your 30 seconds now. Now, I'm wondering what the strategy is here for Ryan. Is he going to play it safe and keep it at 2? Or is Max going to go back to his original formula of 3? And Brian, he has to make a move here.
I know. I don't even remember the original orders anymore. I erased
You
that
erased
shit
it?
a long time ago. Yeah.
All right, well, you guys got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pencils up. Max, go ahead and give me your final order.
So I'm gonna do another swaparoo and say wild card. I'm gonna say New Udra on top,
That's a good one.
then Valstrax, what was it? What did I do?
You wrote it down, right?
I don't have enough time to write it down.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna say that doesn't make sense. Okay.
Judge, that's more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna give. All right, give me your
qualified.
second to the last one, and then your last one.
What was my top 3?
I don't remember, but yeah.
I've got like 4 lists in front of me right here. I'm trying to.
More
okay.
than 30
Let my crown
seconds.
All
More
right,
than 30 seconds.
We're gonna go ahead and give Max his last round then, leaving him at 1 point. Brian, what do you have?
I have Duramboros, New Udra, Valstrax, Glavenus, and then Brachydios is the smallest.
Okay, and Ryan, what is your final list?
I wrote down Max's answer from earlier when he got 3. So I'm saying the one that Max got with 3 right, because I'm in it to win it. Veldrax, Duran, New Udra, Glavi, Navi, and Brachydios was his answer for the first round when he got 3.
That's not his answer from the first one.
Oh, you gotta lock it in now.
Okay, so yeah, but that's locked in now. So you went Val first. Okay, Duran next. Duran Barros next. New Udra next. Glavi, and then Brachydios. Ryan.
Yep, that's what I had that Max wrote when he got 3 out of 5.
That was my first answer.
What the hell? You went Valstrax first?
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's fucking weird. That's weird. Okay, well, that's not what you have now. Right? The second round you had 1 point.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, was I still 3 points on the first round then?
You were first, yeah, but either way it didn't matter because you didn't give me an actual list for the third one. So we're giving you your second round one, which is 1. Brian, your final answer was correct with 1 position. And Ryan, you won this round of monstrous measurements with 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Max
cheating
50 points, Brian 50 points, and Ryan wait, I'm sorry, I said these were 10 points each, right?
Yes, 10.
Everyone's fucking up tonight. 10 points, and 30. So let's go ahead and tally up those scores, and let's see, we got
and the results, or and get to find what the actual answer was too. Curious.
All right, so the actual answer from largest to smallest is the Glavinus with 3,174.36. It says centimeters. Is that really how they measure them? Centimeters? I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
Yeah, Glavinus.
I'm not sure.
Then second is Duramboros with 2,611, 2,611 and 50 cents. Then we have the new Udra, which is 2,365.88. Valstrax, which is 2,267. And everyone pretty much got Brachydios right, being the smallest one, which was 1,932.69 centimeters.
Okay.
So, tallying up all those points, in last place with a total of 130 points, we have Ryan.
I gotta make up gains somehow.
Hey, you're actually making up some ground. Yeah. With 160 points. Just above him, we have Brian.
Yoo-hoo.
And in first place still, by a sizable lead, we have Max with 219.5 points.
What did we give him the half point on? I remember making a stink about it. I don't remember what it was though.
He had 2 A's technically in Rathalos because he had a small one in a giant A. So let's see. Yeah, we got 219 with Max in first, 160 with Brian in second, and 130 with Ryan in third. But it is still anyone's game, but not for long, because we're going to have our next trivia episode is going to be for the season 1 winner of Monster Hunter trivia. So I'm gonna try and come up with something special for that one.
Okay.
We'll see how much time I have to.
Are we still doing the winner chooses the losers like intro name for an episode?
Yeah, we could do that. We do that for like a whole week or something.
It'll be Brian the rank stanker longs. I don't know what mine will be, but we'll come up with something. All right.
Yeah.
Everyone start thinking of something mean.
You got it.
What was it from the first episode? Were you fart bitch? So basically,
I didn't want you
right?
to remember.
I'm gonna change your picture.
I'm
gonna change your picture to getting shitted on by Kungawala if that's what happens. But yep, that
Fair.
is another episode of not Palibros. That ends our trivia segment for Monster Hunter Trivia. And before we head into our main topic, we have a message from the Hunters Guild.
Hello there, hunters. Orson here, back with another hot tip straight from the Hunters Guild for your perusal. Did you know that if you catch great thunderbugs with your capture net, they automatically become shock traps? That's right, Sonny Jim. There's absolutely no trap tools needed for this to work. Simply equip your capture net, aim, and shoot. Now that's what I call a shocking revelation. Now don't forget this great tip the next time you're out in the field. Now go forth and show those monsters what for! This tip was brought to you by the Hunters Guild.
Of course, fellow hunters, when you hear that sounds, it means we're all readied up for the topic of the show. And today's topic is we react to IGN's top 10 Monster Hunter monsters ranking list. So we're going to go through IGN's monster list, starting from the top 10 spot all the way down to 1. But before we do so, I want to take a sec to see if if we have any sort of predictions about the list. Like what monsters we think are in the top 5 or the number 1 spot, or any monsters that we think should make the list, or kind of just feel free to kind of speculate what you guys think we're probably going to see. When I kind of wrote this, I swear the article said top 10, but it looks like IGN put they have like a living kind of list ever since Monster Hunter 1. So they have like a top 25. We'll go ahead and go through the 25 to the 10 spot kind of quick, unless there's like something crazy that we got to talk about. Then we'll definitely make times for that. But then we'll get into the top 10 of them, and we'll kind of like see how we like each number in the top 10 Monster Hunter. There's over like 200 monsters, so top 10 has to be like a bunch of bangers, right?
Can I get my top 5 right now, or you want me to
no?
wait
Go ahead
till
and
we
start
see
us
it?
off. Yeah, what do you think is gonna?
I'm gonna say.
See in the
I'm gonna
list.
say Zenogre number 1, Rathalos number 2, Lagicris number 3, Vitalis 4, and 5. I don't know. I guess I only got the top 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my top 4 prediction right there.
Okay. Do you have any like criteria?
I'll go Nargacuga number 5. This is just me thinking about like, oh, maybe Diablos. I'll go Nargacuga / Diablos on the 5 spot.
Okay.
This is just me predicting on like what I think people would vote for, because I don't really know what the criteria is yet for how they got to this. But I'm just gonna guess like they did a community poll or something, and like a Twitter poll or something, and like this is how people voted. I'm just trying to think of like what's like the most popular monsters, and like what is the most iconic. Rathalos is the most iconic for me. Zenogre feels like the most popular. Vitalis is deeply beloved just because it's hard as hell and looks super cool.
There's a chair.
Nargacuga. Yeah, Nargacuga feels like really high up there. You just made the point about the Diablos in the movie earlier, and then that's kind of how I. And the Lagicris also is like I think a top request for wilds for not just us but the community. So, and it's only appeared in I think it was only appeared in Try, right? So I think people are thirsty for it. So that tells you the impact that it's had. It's like it only appeared in Try, and people are like begging for it to come back. So that's my top 5 prediction.
Okay. I think it was also in Generations as well. It may also have been in 4. I don't recall though if it was just like the Ivory Lagicris moveset or whatever.
Yeah.
I think
it's limited. It's limited.
Yeah, I think those are all good picks. I think the things that I would add are, I think there's 2 things that come to mind. Like, one, it's an IGN list, so it's probably going to be something from Wilds also included in that list because they want to hype up the new game.
Okay.
So maybe it's like Raidao or one of the new monsters that they're going to throw in the top 10.
Real quick,
and I think
I hate to retract, but the list was posted or updated like February 18th, so I don't think any Wilds monsters.
So no new Wilds monsters.
Yeah.
So the one thing I think is going to be in there that I don't personally agree with, this is the hill that I'm going to die on, is that I think Nergigante is going to be on that list, and I don't think Nergigante is that cool of a fight personally.
Mhm.
But I know that the community is like going to glaze Nergigante all day and be like, oh, Nergigante could 1v1 all the Elder Dragons. It's the strongest thing. It's so awesome. Like, I don't think it's that cool, but I know that the community does because so many people started playing in World.
There goes our French viewer.
That's like that's their perspective, is like Nergigante is their introduction to Monster Hunter, and they think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be on there for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of idea, like, what you think, like, the list is kind of, like, their criteria for making a list? Do you think it's going to be based off of just popularity? Do you think it's going to be, like, other factors, like maybe skills or armor, weapons?
I wonder how... I think it's going to be mostly popularity. I wonder how much of a recency bias there's going to be. Based on World and Iceborne. It's probably going to be a lot of the more popular recent stuff, like Nargacuga and Ogre. I wonder if Lagiacrus is going to be on there. That's what I'm interested to see.
For top 10.
Yeah, because that's an old... It hasn't appeared in a while.
Yeah.
But it does have sort of a lingering popularity, looking at like Capcom's polls that they did somewhat recently as for ranking all the monsters. So
yeah. What about you, Brian? What do you think we're going to see, or what do you expect from this list?
Yeah, I'd like to hope that it would be based off of which ones are the cutest plushies, but unfortunately it'll probably just be like, so no
Dodogama number 1.
Dodogama is so cute. But yeah, so no Kezu or something, Giganox or something weird like that. For sure, I'm with you.
That might mean a Palumu appearance, honestly, if it's top 25.
I mean, have you seen Palumu's face sometimes when it shows its teeth? It's kind of nasty looking. It's not cute. It's like a squirrel and it shows you the teeth. You're like,
it's a butterface, because the rest of it is pretty cute.
I was going to say, I think people consider it one of the cuter monsters, to be honest.
It kind of looks like Stitch. Yeah, I see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with the Stitch look. It's kind of ferocious but cute. I definitely see Zinogre up there as well.
You would.
I would. It's my best boy, you know. Nargacuga for sure would be up there. I do see Rajang.
Yeah,
being up there.
Oh yeah, definitely in top 10.
I think that's spicy take personally.
Really?
I think it'll break top 25. I don't think it'll break top 10.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I think it's just like it's got a special place in everyone's hearts, and seeing Super Saiyan Monkey just doing barrel rolls around is pretty cool. So
yeah, I mean, it has hyper beam.
It does have a beam, and he does rip off unicorn horns. Or Kirin horns.
I was gonna say Kieran might make a surprise appearance in the top 25.
I don't think it would be surprised.
Yeah, I think that people.
Oh boy,
we have our feelings on Kieran as a hunt, but yeah. I mean, some of the Elder Dragon designs really cool. Yeah, Nergigante being in there makes sense. I think people think it looks badass. I didn't hate the fight. I thought it was kind of fun. It was a fun thing with my lance, just kind of sitting there poking at it, as I do with most hunts. But I could see something like Kushala Daora make an appearance. I mean, that thing looks so cool. I hope I don't see Chameleos in there.
Oh, you won't, because it's Chameleos.
Yeah,
weird eyes, and it's gonna be invisible. You're right. But yeah, I'm hoping
no one said Tigrex yet.
Oh yeah, Tigrex would be good.
I think that's a top 10.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think it's up there, but I don't think it's top 10. It's like top 30 or top 40 for sure.
I feel like
everybody's list, but it's never at the top of anyone's list. I feel like
T-Rex is Eevee before they're trying to make Eevee like the new Pikachu. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, where it is popular. It's a fun monster. It looks cool. Very, it's a fun fight. But I don't think it holds up to like if you say, oh, but this one's a Rathalos. Like,
Rathalos. Yeah. Have we not said Rathalos? Yeah, Rathalos has got to be top 10.
Yeah, so this is what I kind of was wondering.
Ryan had Rathalos too.
Oh, you did? Oh, my
too.
bad.
So I was kind of wondering, was like
Bagel Jesus up there for sure. I feel like top 25.
Top 20.
I think it's too soon to put it in top 25.
I like that fight though. I really like that one. It looks fun. The flying, like the dive bombing stuff, the explosions. I think that's a good fight. Top 25. Yeah, we'll see. I was kind of more wondering like what the criteria. Like my biggest thing was like what kind of criteria are they going by? Like you don't know what you're gonna get with IGN's list. That can be said about anyone's list, but like I have kind of feel like how deep of like a Monster Hunter fan are they? Like, are they super nerdy? Like, or are they very not like?
Yeah, is this like an op-ed where the writer chose, or is this actually community
I'm
pulled?
very interested to see like, because like if it's very superficial, I'm gonna tell you right now, Rathalos is number one just because it's the poster boy for Monster Hunter. You know, like, and that would be very anticlimactic, and I hope that it isn't. Like, what I'm hoping to see is to see like something like
something worth the top 5, right?
Yeah, something different. Not so different that's like crazy, but I'd like to see like a good variety of monster, you know. So we're gonna see. I guess my top 5 guesses, no particular order, unless it's like number 1. I'm gonna say Lagaiacris, Black Diablos, Fatalis. I'm hopeful. This one's hopeful. Is a Devil Joe, and then if like I said, if it is like very like bare bones, I'm gonna say Rathalos is number 1 because you know it's the face of Monster Hunter. But yeah, hoping to see a wider range of monsters. Not all dragon type monsters would be cool. See some bigger set piece monsters as well. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and transition over to the Monster Hunter IGN's top 25 Monster Hunter lists, and we'll see you there in a sec. So here is IGN's top 25 best Monster Hunter monsters. These are the most ferocious, fearsome, and bloody brilliant beasts Monster Hunter has to offer. Over the last Over the last 20 years, Monster Hunter has delivered some of the most memorable over-the-top monster designs that have scared, delighted, and stunned fans in equal measure. Whether your first hunt dates back to the original game on PlayStation 2, or you hopped in when 2018's Monster Hunter World dominated the charts, you're bound to have that one monster you've grown attached to and love more than any other. Capcom's hugely popular hunting RPG series boasts over 200 monsters in total, so we've gone through them all to find the top 25, the very best of the best, and the beasts we love to gush over as much as we hate battling them. That's a weird sentence. I love battling them. And with Monster Hunter Wilds adding to that tally, now is the perfect time to take a look at some of the best monsters the series has to offer. This is by Jesse Vitelli, by way of IGN.com, updated February 19th, 2025. So, about two and a half weeks before Monster Hunter came out? Monster Hunter Wilds. So, let's go ahead and start with our number 25 spot. Is the Malzeno. Of course, this is the endgame fight or title monster of Sunbreak for Monster Hunter Rise. So 25 out of 200.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
Respectable decision.
Yeah. Wow.
This one is an interesting take.
Okay, we got a third party monster over here. The Behemoth from Final Fantasy overtaking Rise's Monster Hunter title monster. Yeah. That's
Sunbreak, yeah.
Okay. That's pretty crazy. 23, we got Valhazak.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Always like a very cool design. I loved the kind of creepiness of it. It almost alludes to some of the Wilds designs too. So I respect that.
Yeah, very different type of monster. First showed up in Monster Hunter World. Very cool. The Lagina at 22.
I don't know why. I mean, the shriek, but okay.
I actually really loved the design of this in World, so I'm surprised to see it this high, but
I'm surprised to see it higher than Valhazak and Malzeno.
Malzeno is almost like a top 10 for me personally, so it's kind of crazy to see like Yana above it.
I think it's probably a little bit. Yeah, I was gonna say recency bias, but that doesn't really match with. I mean, there's a lot of worlds. There's a lot of world stuff in here already.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how overrepresented some of the more recent games are going to be.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of fearing too. But you already hit the nail on the head. I was like, is this going to be a whole worlds list? You know. Well, let's go to our number 21 spot. Hey, there's the basil juice, basil geese. Okay, so it did make top 25. Yep. Number 20 is the
Oh, you were
Black
thinking
Diablos.
Top 5 for Black Diablos. Yeah, wow.
Wow.
That's I thought it would be way higher than that. That was my number 5 pick, split with Nargacuga.
Yeah, this
so
is
it's an interesting decision to put Black Diablos rather than Diablos in the list. I wonder if
I swear to God,
surely
if they put both, that'd be so
it,
stupid.
They wouldn't put both.
you,
be dumb
you
as
would
hell.
think. But
You would think.
you would think. But they already got a
They could do like the Apex Diablos, I guess. That's
I really
actually
hope they
different
don't.
enough.
I mean,
I didn't even
Legiana
think of
got-
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, with the Legiana being over Malzeno and then a Behemoth in top 25, that I don't really know where this list is going. And then
Yeah,
seeing a Black
it's a
Diablos
little
at
bit wild.
20, I'm just like, okay, what's gonna happen next? But as of
Number
right
19,
now,
Mila Jojovic.
yeah,
No.
as of right now, I'm like, okay, what you put past this, it has to be pretty good for me.
Better be bangers.
Be prepared to
Shara
be disappointed. I haven't seen it
Ishvalda.
yet.
That's a unique
This is
monster. It's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Okay,
Gross looking.
I don't have very many fond memories of this fight, but
Big old rock.
I don't know. I feel like Black Diablos for me is like more iconic, more impactful. I know, like you see him in a lot of games, but I'm like that fight, like even when I'm powered up and stuff like that, I feel like this deserves way more. I feel like Black Diablos for me is at least top 15, if not in the top 10.
I think Sharish Valda is an interesting fight in that there's like the different phases where it starts off as like this big rocky thing, and then there's like the reveal when it breaks off all the rocks. But like as a fight, like either form, I don't think is that fun of a fight, honestly.
Yeah.
Like personally, I mean, I guess it has its fans.
So yeah, probably too high.
It would probably not be in my top 50.
Wow. Yeah.
Personally.
Okay. Moving on to number 18, Furious
Ooh.
Rajang.
Okay, a little variant.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm glad that it made the list.
Yeah, it's high. It's higher. I mean, I have 200 monsters, sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 17, we have Astalos.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I like that design.
Okay. Yep.
Little bug wings.
Number 16, Amatsu.
Oh, Amatsu.
Okay, so
Okay.
Elder Dragons.
Pretty cool design.
You know, I mean, I guess what was it? Malzeno's Elder Dragon, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have. It's not new to have Elder Dragon. I thought we'd see. I feel like Elder Dragons. I kind of had a thought that Elder Dragons would kind of like hit more in the top 10. Like it was either like very superficial, like oh, Rathalos is number 1, or is like top 10 is all just filled with Elder Dragons. So you know, it's kind of cool to see this popping up. Number 15 is the Raging Brachydios.
Okay. Yeah, that's a cool fight with the end area.
It
Yeah,
feels like Brachydios is. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that being over some of these other ones. It's a cool monster. I just feel like there's just such cooler stuff out there. I would put it like I would put it top 40, but I wouldn't put it number 8, 17. Where are we at right now?
and we're at 15.
Yeah, I think that's too high, personally.
I think it's in the top 25. I think it needs to kick out the Legina. I don't think the Legina needs to be on this list.
It shouldn't
in
be in
25.
The top 25. No.
Yeah, that felt like a jobber monster to me. But let's go ahead and go to number 14, Glavenus.
Glavenus is cool. Yeah.
Okay, I like Glavenus at 14. That's
I'm okay with it.
pretty high.
I think Hellblade Glavenus is cooler personally,
Yeah.
but
We've seen some variants already, right? We got the Furious Rajan.
Oh yeah.
nothing pre-world though
Yeah,
so far.
that's true. Nothing pre-world. Raging Brachydios was another one. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to number 3. I'm trying not to die. Sorry, excuse me. Number 13, we have Teostra.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good pick. It's a good spot.
I think, yeah,
It's a cool monster.
good spot. Not mad at it. Number 12. I can never pronounce this. Namiel? Namiel.
That sounds right to me.
Mm-hmm.
Namiel. Yeah. That's okay.
Cool design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it in top 10 either. So,
Mm.
12. Cool. I personally like Teostra more. Number
Just the
11.
Smaller.
Okay.
Oh, Gore. Yeah. Why did I not
Just
mention Gore earlier?
edged
Great
out
design.
of top 10 is the Gore Magala.
Ooh, I put Gore in top 10. Okay, that means 11's good. That's a good spot though.
That's okay. So before we get into top 10, how are we feeling about 25 through 11 spot?
Feels like
it gives me the shivers. I'm in shock over here.
Yeah.
there's also some like I think we all have like a pretty tight list of like what maybe our top 15 monsters have been, and I think probably all of us have only seen like 3 of them so far. So
Yeah.
this next 10 better be all bangers, no wasted space at all.
Yeah.
I think we're about to be disappointed a little bit.
Let me see. Let's go back up. You got
I don't think the list will be bad. I just think that we'll be disagreeing with like at least 2 of these 10.
Yeah, for me, let's see, we got Gormagala, Teostra, Glavenus, Prakidios, Aslos, Rajang. There's a bunch of monsters in here that I think could make top 10, but I feel like are just kind of spread out randomly within 25 through 11. This Legina, get out of here. This makes no sense to me.
I mean, I really like
Especially
that
coming
design,
after Valhazak.
but yeah, I don't know if it makes a top. I think it's like top 40.
And then
And like I'm probably the most ardent defender of that one being even this high, but I also agree that it's like there's certain monsters in here that you're just like, what are you doing?
Since this is apparently the World/Rise tier list,
mhm.
if Zora Magdaros is in the top 10, my head is going to explode and I'm going to lose it.
He's just gonna walk off. He's just gonna just disconnect. He's like, I'm done. I'm over it. All right,
Max carded from this list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get
Good
into
stuff.
number 10. Number 10 has to be better than Gormagala.
Mm.
That's hard, man. All
All
right.
right. Any guesses,
we
really
got?
quick?
I feel like we're about to be disappointed. It's going to be Zinogre.
Better not be our boy.
I don't think it's going to be this high, but
So, all right, quick show of hands. Is Zinogre top 5?
Yes.
I think it probably will.
my prediction was number 1. So
Okay. Yeah.
Let me go pull up a list of monsters that were in Monster Hunter World. Hold up.
It's gonna be.
I'm gonna say like Kushala Deora or something.
Okay.
mm.
Yeah. Could be 10.
All right. Has to be better than Gormagala. Number 10 for IGN's top 10 Monster Hunter monsters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 is the Rathalos.
Wow,
Holy.
They put it at 10.
Okay.
Fucking slander, bro. Slander.
Wow. I thought it would be number 1. And especially
Top 3 at least.
like going off of the list so far, I was like, I couldn't really tell what the hell we were doing. I think, of course, Rathalos was going to make top 10. I didn't think it would make 10, though. So this is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
This list is dead to me.
This is dead.
I personally
10?
think this is a respectable place to put it. I would probably put Rathalos somewhere between like 6 or 7 to 10. Like it deserves to be up there, but I think there's a number of things that edge it out for me. Like I can respect this placement.
Okay. Let's go ahead and read the synopsis. Rathalos, the Red Wyvern, first seen on the cover of the original game, is the de facto Monster Hunter series mascot. Our
Thank
large
you.
friend has appeared in every single entry of the Monster Hunter series, as well as making appearances in Final Fantasy XIV, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and even Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. And so this list would not be complete without what is arguably the franchise's most iconic creature. The Rathalos is a fan favorite and one that can often give newcomers and veterans alike a hard time in the wild. So this slot is for our beautiful baby, our cherished pal, our good buddy Rathalos.
Except we're gonna snub you at 10.
He's taking it personal.
Mm-hmm.
I hard disagree with this ranking.
Okay.
I knew I was gonna be disappointed, but I didn't think 10 was gonna be Razlo's.
Yeah, it was immediate disappointment.
Okay,
deep personal, slander.
I think cutting it from 10 to 1 or top 10, I feel like this is low, but cutting it from 200 to 1 or like 200 to 1, I think this is a okay placement. Like, I think it could have been a little bit higher, maybe 7 or 8, but
look, it wasn't 25, but
yeah.
There's a reason I didn't give it the number 1 spot. I was like thinking about popularity, but it's like Rathalos has to be one of the most popular. So I'm curious where they got this ranking from too. If this must be a personal the author ranked it.
I would be very curious to compare this list to Capcom's poll that they did recently. I would bet that Legiana is probably like 70.
Pull up the receipts, Matt. Pull it up. Pull up the receipts.
All right, let's go
look
ahead.
At the hard data.
Let's go ahead and move on to number 9. It beats out the poster boy for Monster Hunter. Fatalis at number 9.
My top 5 in shambles, bro. What the hell? What the hell? What is the rest of this list, dude? Holy shit.
Yeah. Fatalis is arguably one of the strongest monsters in the series, originally introduced in the very first Monster Hunter. This massive black elder dragon is known for its ability to level entire castles on a whim. It was most recently included in Monster Hunter World Iceborne's final update, which made Fatalis the true final fight of the game. Its massive scale and imposing figure make it one of the most difficult fights in the series, in part thanks to its fire breath being able to ignite an entire arena and leave only destruction in its wake. Fatalis is a monster to be truly feared and a standing reminder of what elder dragons are capable of. A little too high for my taste, but what do you guys think?
So I'm guessing. Go ahead.
I had it at like 4, I think. So I'm already feeling slighted by this list.
I feel like this placement is based solely on its appearance in World, because it's appeared in a lot of other games where I feel like it's never been that interesting of a fight. Like, it's always just been kind of an HP sponge. You White Fatalis is like the same fight, but there's a little bit of like red lightning coming down. Like, it's never been that interesting until this one iteration. And I feel like the popularity based on that one appearance is pushing it up here. I don't know that it justifies that for me personally. Like, it is a cool fight, but I wouldn't put it at number 9.
Yeah, but popularity is also obviously not, that much of a factor if Rathalos is 10, because like that's like the guy, so.
I think that matches up probably pretty closely with what some of the like actual community surveys would be.
Yeah, I haven't seen the results for any of this.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about 9?
We'll have to cross-reference it.
Brian?
I mean, Fatalis is like one of my favorite fights from Iceborne, so really love what they did with it. Super awesome design. I mean, it's like one of the most traditionally dragony looking dragons or monsters, I guess dragony looking monsters in the game. There's tons of wyverns, so it's cool to see an actual dragon with arms, and I loved it's just like, dilapidated, I always forget the right way to say it, but the destroyed castle layout that they usually put Fatalis in, and it's just a really cool,
very like Western fantasy like fight, very cool.
Loved it.
Yeah. So
I'm not up against its spot there.
All right, I think Brian's liking this so far. All right, number 8. Kieran, I fucking told you.
Interesting.
I fucking told you. What is this picture from? Is this Monster Hunter Stories?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's a funny picture to put it in.
I thought this is like gonna be maybe a top 10, top 15. I think this is a good placement for it. I actually kind of agree with this. 8 for Kieran. It's pretty popular. It's very unique.
Get this out of here.
Oh,
it's very unique design-wise. I mean, everything else is big lumbering monsters. It's kind of weird to fight like a horse that can like beat your ass. Like it's it's pretty normal sized compared to most things that you fight. So I think that's kind of unique in the Monster Hunter
visual,
language.
Max about carded right then and there.
I will agree that it's unique, but I don't think unique equals good necessarily. Like, it's certainly one of the rare smaller monsters, but like, I don't think I've met a single person playing World that enjoyed fighting Kieran. Does anyone enjoy fighting Kieran? Like,
I don't.
It's kind of obnoxious. It's been obnoxious in like every game that it's been.
I don't hate it as much as you. So.
I mean, that dual HR like locked Kieran quests in World, that was rough, man. And we hit a lot of walls with that.
I think this is too high. I think Kieran would be in my top 25, but I don't think it would be top.
I wouldn't
top
put
10,
top 10 either.
Especially past like Fatalis and Rathalos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no comment.
Let's see what they say. Do not be fooled by Kieran's graceful form and demeanor. This unicorn, like Elder Dragon, will not hesitate to impale you on its giant horn like a chicken kebab. Its quick dashes and lightning attacks will leave your head spinning. It often circles you faster than you can rotate the camera, which pisses me off all the time, which means you'll need to make use of perfect positioning unless you want to have your favorite palicos wheeling you back to camp with nothing left but your life. As Kieran leaps across the battlefield and you revel in its splendor, keep your head on a swivel and your blades sharpened. This monster is a perfect reminder that sometimes beautiful things can also be deadly. Kieran is a staple of the Monster Hunter series and one fans come to expect with each new entry. Kieran is more than just another monster, but a series icon that is adored by fans, even if it's the cause of many hunter deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll try to scroll just enough that I couldn't read number 7. But okay, here we go. Number 7 is definitely better than Kieran, Fatalis, and Rathalos. You guys ready?
Potato salad.
Show me potato salad. Mizutsune.
Yeah,
it's definitely.
I was very excited for this to be the first title monster for Wilds. This was my favorite design in Rise. I know it's from Worlds originally, or where's it from?
Generations.
Yeah.
It fit the art style so perfectly that I honestly thought it was from Rise. And it's just so cool. I mean, I think we all love the Leviathan style, like long boy fights, and just the honestly, now that I think about it, it's got that like Jin Dahad like curl up kind of attack that shoots all the bubbles out. Not obviously as deadly, but I loved this fight so much. So I'm happy to see him in the top 10. 7 might be a little high. I could argue it either way, but I think this is an okay pick.
Yeah.
As my germophobia is just really excited by the fact that this thing is such a clean, bubbly monster. It gets me.
He's the bath boy. He's the bath bomb boy.
Reincarnated as Mizutsune. Yeah.
Yeah, Mizutsune. It's a good monster. Aesthetically very cool. The actual fight itself is interesting. It has a couple of cool moves. Kind of like it's like the only monster that drifts, right?
Yeah.
It drifts, does like a water spout attack kind of thing. Mizutsune uses water gun. It's super effective. And then also uses like these bubble attacks, which seeing the fight, especially like when coming back from my perspective, because I'm usually running back from camp after I carded, it's kind of cool seeing everyone like fighting it and seeing a whole bunch of bubbles everywhere. So I think aesthetically it's very cool looking, very different. The colors of it kind of pop and stuff like that. And yeah, I think the fight isn't like, it's not like the best, but I think the fight is definitely worthy of being in a top 10. Yeah, I'm not mad at this one.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of monsters on here. Like, I wouldn't be upset if somebody put it at 7, but I mean, you start thinking like, oh, well, is it actually above Rathalos? Is it above these other things? And you start to second guess yourself. I like Mizutsune as a fight. I think it's fun when monsters sort of have their own unique mechanics, like the bubbles. Yeah. And then sort of that bubble mechanic then transfers over to the armor and like the armor skills.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of an interesting and fun twist.
Okay.
It's also nice too because like so much of Monster Hunter design, and I think this is not a trappings of Monster Hunter specifically, but all lightning and fire and you know, everything has to be like super cool and kind of like I don't know, masculine, I guess. But this is it's I like the bubbles.
It's like the tropes of like a monster. Like, okay, it's lightning or like fire. You don't think
you expect
bubbles.
them to be these. You expect these things to be these vicious, like elemental, like pure kind of incarnations, and it's cool to see like a bubble dragon. It's not just something like it just sounds so interesting.
And not like a dorky bubble dragon either.
Yeah, but like a cool one. No, but I just mean it's such a. I like the design so much. So I think a bubble dragon like is interesting just as like those two words together. But the execution's like really strong. Like they didn't just like take this gimmick and just kind of like, you know, kind of phone it in. I feel like they really thought, like you said, with the armor and like everything else, like they really thought through how this could actually manifest as like a real, you know, physical being. So I appreciate that about the Mitsune. I think it's a very strong design and it's pretty memorable as a fight, even if it's not super hard.
I'm curious, you know, for some of these like Mizitsune, would we put Apex Mizitsune or is like the Soul Suitor Mizitsune above normal Mizitsune, or would you think the normal one should be here instead because it's more iconic? Which one is a better fight?
Oh God,
I would have to fight them back to back to like actually, to take note.
It's safe this way.
I think the normal Mizitsune is probably more thematically appropriate because they kind of add like you were talking about, like the bubble dragon theme is stronger with the normal one. Because the Soul Seer Mizitsune, I think it was called, is like the flaming bubbles. You know, it adds in the fire effects and on top of the bubbles.
Which just scientifically makes no sense.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and read the synopsis for this one. Mizitsune is a leviathan similar to Amatsu. Its armed and pressurized water jets blast and has the ability to slide around the arena fluidly. However, Mizitsune doesn't come packaged with Amatsu's world-ending calamity and is a little prettier to look at, so it scores a higher place on our list. Its ability to blow bubbles that hinder your movement and eventually knock you over make this a pretty dangerous monster to be tangled up with. However, Mizutsune's movements are majestic, which makes each and every moment of the battle a spectacle, akin to watching a perfectly choreographed dance sequence center stage. While Mizitsune might not be the most technical or complex fight on the list, it's one that reminds us that let me
use a scroll bar.
Hands can be enchanting.
It's one that reminds us that hands can be enchanting, and getting lost in such moments is what makes the series special. You know what? I'm also gonna put this up on the side here.
I will say just before we go to the next one, this monster is memorable for the feeling it evokes. I think, which is, deserving of a top 10 spot. Maybe you could argue it could be number 10, depending on what the rest is. But, you know, very, very strong design.
Okay, let's go ahead and move into our number 6 spot, which is Legiacris. Number 6. It looks like they have the underwater version too, but I'm not sure if they're actually including that.
That's just a picture, I think, is it? Or do they actually say?
It is the picture, but I wonder. Legiacris and within top 10. It's
I called it at 3, so I thought it was going to be slightly higher, but 6 is respectable for sure. Still,
how dare they call it Monster Hunter 3 and not try?
Exactly. Let me real quick. Let me just duplicate this for my own thing. Oy. And then I could go here. Okay. Legiacris, number 6. What are we thinking? Yay or nay?
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Legiacris, Mizitsune around the same area. I think that's fine.
I think Legiacris is arguably way more iconic than Mitsune, although I suppose Mitsune's been around longer and in more situations, more games. I feel like there's a fervor for Legiacris. I think that's also probably because Tri was the first underwater fights, and so the mechanics, while frustrating, were unique, and so it makes it really memorable because it's kind of the first time in Monster Hunter where you're truly on their turf. Like the whole game is about you swinging these big swords around, but you kind of felt helpless in the water, and fighting him underwater was hell. And so I think that burned itself into a lot of people's memories. I'm happy to see a rise recency bias kind of monsters so high up, kind of like I was hoping. But I will say that I think a lot of it, the positive memories is a little bit of masochism, or because Lagiacrus was terrible to fight in the water, and it was so hard because the mechanics just were not that great as the hunter, but it did really make you feel kind of the gravity and the size of this thing. He is the master of the water, and you really had to step up your game if you were going to beat him.
Yeah. I think I like the placement of this one. I'm curious to actually get into the synopsis to see whether or not they kind of talk about the duality of the fight, whether it be in the water or on the land, because I actually think the land portion of the fight is pretty fun. I think the design of the monster is great. It's awesome. The actual fight underwater is a nightmare. Not me and Brian making a Kelby deer shot and just huddling in the corner, just yeah, we don't want to fuck with you, bro. We'll just hide right here. But yeah, the actual on land fight of it is very cool. It's very long. It's long body. It's kind of hard to get around and stuff like that, but it has some cool moves and stuff. Like I said, aesthetically, it is one of the my favorite looking monsters, and yeah, I'm not mad at this placement. So let's go ahead and read it. Another Leviathan makes the list, and with good reason. Lagiacrus, originally introduced in Monster Hunter Tri, is a true menace. Diving below the water and finding his giant, long-necked, dinosaur-like monster is a memory seared into the deepest parts of our brain. There you go, Ryan. Having to navigate this fight underwater in your slow and bulky armor puts you at a disadvantage. And so, as a Lagiacrus swims circles around you, learning how to seize each opportunity to land a strike becomes a game of its own. Lagiacrus is a formidable opponent, and one we hope to meet again down in the ocean's depths, but it's been nearly a decade since we've last seen it. Lagiacrus defines a generation of hunters, and those hunters will never forget their first fight against the Monster Hunter 3's Monster Hunter Tri's cover art beast. So yeah, it's so funny that they're actually doubling down on the actual water part of the fight, for a top 10 Monster Hunter, or I guess top 25 Monster Hunters of all time monster list, and you want to do a fight that we've never gone back to ever again. We've never been in the water ever since, because it's been kind of like a
I think like the author says, it's seared, and it's a formative Monster Hunter experience if it's seared into our brains forever. Yeah, just the feeling of helplessness, which is,
it's called shared trauma.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's what makes this monster so unique, and obviously the design is solid as well. So I'm not surprised that people think fondly of it, even if it kicked their ass a bunch of times.
Definitely. Oh, give me 1 second before we move into our number 5. Okay. That was really weird. For some reason, Ryan moved over to Max's spot, and Max was just covered up by Ryan.
The old switcheroo.
For our audio listeners, it'll make sense. You trust me. All right, let's go ahead and move into number 5.
I feel like I'm going to hate this one. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to hate it.
Crimson Glow Valstrax.
That's pretty cool. It was a cool fight.
This one fucked me up a lot. So I think I don't want it in my top 10. But it's a fun fight. Aesthetically, love the red. It pops super hard. It's quick as shit. I feel like I never have time to fucking fight this thing. But top 5. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I like Mizutsune and Lagiacrus a little bit more than I like this fight, so this one's fine for me. I'm not too mad at it, but yeah, what do you guys think?
Cool design. Love how fast it is. I'm not upset about it. I can see why people really like this monster.
I
Not
think
one
for
of my
me,
favorites,
I think for me, I'd probably put this in like my top 20 or 30 maybe.
Mhm.
I really like I like the aspects of the fight, like the speed of it, and like the move where it sort of takes off into the sky and crashes back down. Like that's a really cool move.
You mean you hate that move when it hits me?
Well, it's not really that. I don't feel like it's that much of a threat once you've seen it like once or twice, and you can just dive out of the way once you know the timing. But
yeah,
I think in terms of design wise, it kind of pushes the limits of. Like I know they, as part of their design philosophy, they want all the monsters to be believable, like as something that you could believe is something that exists in the world, like it exists as part of an ecosystem. I think the design of like the jet plane dragon shooting around the sky is kind of like pushing the limits of what I find sort of be acceptable design. So like I don't actually love the design as being like part of Monster Hunter. Like it's cool. I like the fight, but like I don't really love it in terms as like being a part of Monster Hunter in terms of the design from that perspective.
I feel like for some reason this gives me a lot of Latios and Latias like vibes.
Oh,
just because
Pokemon.
Yeah, but yeah, have you fought this before, right, Ryan?
Nope.
Okay.
Nice porn.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, this was one of those things where it's like, you know, once you guys switched over the PC ports, I never got a chance to fight a lot of things, and this was one of those that eluded me.
This was in Generations and Rise, so you narrowly dodged it.
Yeah. I think it's too high for me. Actually, I don't think top 10. It wouldn't make my top 10 personally, but that's because I hold grudges. Well, let's see what it says. Have you ever thought, I wish monsters in Monster Hunter looked more like a fighter jet speeding across the sky? Well, you're in luck. Crimson Glow Valstrax introduced a post-launch DLC for Monster Hunter Rise. Is a variant of Valstrax that has been given afterburners. Its glowing red wings shoot flames as it darts across the sky, making for one of the coolest introductions to a Monster Hunter in the series' history. Using its large, sharp wings as blades, Crimson Glow Valstrax is one of the series' most unique monster designs in recent memory.
Cool typo, IGN. Vlastrax.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the more I think about this fight, the more, or this monster, the more I'm like, get this, like, this is really high. So that means we have 4 spots left, and my Plesioth or Devil Joe haven't shown yet. So right now, this list is not doing
I wouldn't
it for
hold
me.
out hope, my friend. I don't know how to tell you this. I don't think Plesioth is going to be number 4.
If it's number 1, you owe me a fucking Tony's pizza.
Oh, Tony.
Done deal, bro. If you
with
have
the
Plesioth
cocaine.
is number 1, yeah, I'll buy you a fucking booster bundle of whatever the hell you want if I'm wrong about Plesioth being number 1.
Damn.
Devil Joe was in World, so it certainly has a chance here.
All right, let's see it. Devil Joe.
All right, let's see it.
Hey, just to be fair, I didn't say nothing about Devil Joe. I just said Plesioth is not number 1, so.
Okay.
Here we go. Number 4. Better than Lagiacrus, Mizutsune, Kirin, Fatalis, and Rathalos. Savage Devil fucking Joe.
I am so glad I made sure to be very clear. I was so clear about what I said.
We fucking
Run
did
back
it.
the tape. Run back the tape.
The spicy pickle made it. Let's go. I fucking love this monster.
This is too high. I like Devil Joe too. This is too high.
Yeah? Okay. Well,
He eats everything.
Okay.
it's good. It's okay. We have friends that are wrong all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's fun. I don't. 4. I don't know. Dude, think about Rathalos is 10. Like that's crazy.
Hey, when Legina showed up over fucking Rise Malzeno, like I threw all caution to the wind. All right.
Look, I think all of us would write this article differently. That's okay.
So that means I have 3 spots left for a Plesioth to show up.
Yes.
But
Still
yeah,
possible.
I'm telling you, I will buy you a pizza and a box of Pokemon cards if Plesioth is number 1 card.
Oh,
is the number 1 spot.
I'm gonna hit up the editor real quick. But what do you guys think, Max and Brian?
I like it. I mean, I like Savage Devil Joe.
I'm down with that choice, I guess.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be 4 for me. It would
I
probably
was gonna say
be
4
closer
though.
to 10
Yeah, I
or 10
think
or 15 maybe.
I think he's a top 25 guy. I don't think he's 4. I'd put him at like 18. maybe personally.
I have some strong words for you after this
Patrick
episode.
Gets hurt by that.
Every hunter's favorite pickle boy, the original Devil Joe is something of a Monster Hunter legend. Known in the early games for its relentless nature and ability to dish out absurd amounts of damage, the Devil Joe rose to fame in the community rather quickly. In Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, the Savage Devil Joe was born, a red variant with some new moves and a much needed facelift. Its constant rage and larger radius breath attacks make the Savage version much more, savage. Its near constant frenzy leads it to attack anything and everything in its sight, leaving no stone unturned, and its never-ending attempt to quench its bloodthirst. Savage Devil Joe is proof that no matter how difficult you think a fight can be, there's always something even harder right around the corner. Yeah. I'm super happy with this. Love Devil Joe. Love me the pickle. So I'm good.
Number 3.
Right. Really quick. Top 3.
Do we want to do like predictions now that we know what everything else is going on right now?
Yeah. Let's do a quick prediction. Top 3. What do you think? Go ahead, Max.
I'm going to say number 3, Nargacuga, number 2, Zinogre, number 2, Nergigante. Based on this list, that would not be my top 3, but from what I've seen, that's what I'm putting.
I think that's a pretty safe bet. Definitely Narga was in there for me. What do you say? You said Narga,
then Zinogre, then Nergigante.
Yeah, fuck, that seems right to me.
Again, this is very recency biased. I'm gonna go Magnamalo number 3, and I'm gonna keep my Nargacuga 2 and Zinogre number 1.
Oh,
knowing.
But with no Nergigante has to be on here. Like, I'm telling you.
Fair enough. I'm still gonna. I'm gonna stick with it. You have a good point. I'm just gonna stick with what I said.
No, Zeno's cool. Oh man.
What are you cooking over there, Brian?
There's also there's a bunch of big fights too. I'm sure that we've not. Oh, I wonder if any of like the Rise dragons are like the Elder.
Yeah, I think I have to go Kushala for 3, and then not Nergigante. Kushala, Nargacuga. No, fuck. Kushala, Zinogre, and then Nergigante would probably what it is.
That's a good bet too.
Yeah.
Nergigante 1. Yeah, that would be interesting.
I think that's just fair.
I feel like whoever wrote this article started playing at Worlds and then maybe played some other ones for research or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is not a poll.
Other ones.
Yeah, this is not a poll.
I think top 3 is Malinx, Bullfango.
Plesioth 2. Yeah.
There you go.
Plesioth number 2. Plesioth number 1.
Queen Vespoid number 1. Deep cut.
All right, number 3.
See it.
Nargacuga.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I like
3.
that.
Yeah.
I had him at 5, so I'll take 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it deserves to be up there.
Although this picture looks very weird. I don't know what's
like
that's
bad.
That's the Lucent.
I mean, that's the Lucent Nargacuga from
Yeah, but
Rise from.
It looks like it's like not rendering the fur correctly or something like that. It's weird. It looks
that's just Switch Rise graphics, Rise textures.
Yeah, they didn't probably get the PC version.
All right, Nargacuga's features resemble that of a Black Panther. Well, a Black Panther with wings and a giant spiked tail. It lurks in the shadows, waiting to get the drop on unsuspecting hunters. Its ferocious nature and natural ability to hunt prey makes the Nargacuga completely terrifying. Whether it's getting ambushed by one in a battle or having to go toe-to-toe against this vicious predator, Nargacuga makes a strong case for being one of the best monster designs in the series. Speed is one of Nargacuga's biggest strengths, so you best be prepared to stay on the move. Despite Nargacuga never really changing from game to game, it's a prime example of getting a monster right the first time and having everyone look forward to fighting it again and again. I think that pretty much sums up my feelings for the Nargacuga as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember saying in an earlier episode that like this is what made me become agile with a greatsword. Like this guy is so goddamn fast that he like forced me to not just like triple charge every single time, you know. So yeah, fond memories with this guy. He taught me how to get good with the greatsword.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So far,
an iframe trap practice with this thing. Too.
Yeah, definitely.
Quick hits.
Still fun to hit those iframes to this day. Even like even if you're not running evasion, especially if you're not running any evasion, getting iframes on like the tail slap or something like that, really good. Or that spin, tail spin. Such good memories. Number 2. It's gonna dictate what number 1 is.
Drum roll.
It's either Zinogre or Nergigante, right?
Has to be.
We'll see.
Plesioth. Number 2, Nergigante.
My boy's gonna be number 1.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
Has to be, dude.
Wait, let me.
If Zinogre's not one, then this list is trash, and this whole episode needs to be deleted.
Let me go into fucking Microsoft Paint real quick. I need to take out a picture of a Plesioth.
Yeah, just post it.
Nergigante.
I'll still buy you some Tonys.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, I'm going to take you up on that. Max, it's heartbreaking, right? We have 2 spots.
I would rather this be number 2 than number 1.
Yeah.
And rather it be much lower than 2 than number 1 as well. But I'm happy that Zinogre hopefully beats it. I'll just say that.
What if it's that's what I'm hoping for. I really hope it's something.
Yeah, is there much more to say about the Nergigante other than it's way too high? I mean, it's an okay fight. It's like obviously the iconic monster of Worlds, but the game existed for 10 years before World even came out. So this is way too high. I think we all agree. It's not a terrible monster.
It wouldn't be our list.
Look, okay, if I were to really rate this thing, I'd put it at like 30. I don't think it's terrible. But I think it
makes top 50, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a cool monster. It's better than Velocidromes, but like.
Whoa, hey.
Whoa.
All right, let's see.
Wait, hang on, hold on. Before we move on, higher or lower, Nergigante or Hermitor?
Wait, which one are you saying is higher or lower?
Like, I'm just saying, like, would you rate the Hermitor over
Hermitor
the Nergigante?
Way higher.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, way higher.
I mean, which Hermitor are we talking about here?
Okay. What's the variant? What's the cool variant?
Because I feel like Hermitor is like a top 50 monster, which will give us an idea of like where we would actually put it, and like out of 200.
Hermitor's high on my list. I like that fight a lot.
He's cool.
I like that all-around aesthetic and everything of Hermitor. Like I think that monster's really cool. But let's go ahead and read the synopsis. Nergigante is Monster Hunter World's signature beast. This dangerous elder dragon is the star of one of the game's climactic fights, a battle where you finally get to tussle against the fearsome foe depicted on the collector's edition box art. Nergigante is covered in spiky horns that regenerate over time, and the only way to prevent huge damage from coming your way is to stay aggressive and to stop them from regenerating. Nergigante's den, covered in crystallized rocks, make for a thematically appropriate arena that only adds to this monster's mystique. Its ability to pummel you into the ground in a flash can make light work of even seasoned hunters. Between its design, arena, and theme, Nergigante stands tall among the greatest monsters of the series.
Boo.
Okay.
Number 1. Zinogre, please.
If it's a Tigrix, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Oh my god.
Number 1. Monster Hunter monster of all time by the good people over there at IGN.
Yeah.
Fucking goddamn Zinogre.
Also, what an ugly picture of the Zinogre, dude. That's like the.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad picture.
Zoomed in. It's like a zoom and enhance. You're like, I've never seen one up.
That's like getting the below angle, or get the chin a little
now,
bit.
Brian, would you pick this Zinogre over the variant?
Yeah, it's just more traditional.
What is it called?
Iconic. Thunderlord? Yeah, Thunderlord.
Yeah, Thunderlord.
When we get around to playing Generations as a group, like, y'all are gonna learn.
Oh,
the Thunderlord Zinogre.
Oh, I played it before.
but we didn't go to like EX Thunderlord Zenogre stuff. Like,
yeah, fuck, man.
Thank God. Honestly, thank God. I mean, this list would have been trash without Zenogre at like top 3.
I mean,
Ergante way too high. Zenogre number 1 makes sense.
Even as it is though, Yana above Malzeno, like that's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah.
I honestly thought Tigrex would get a nod at some point. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, hold on. Before we get into that, let's give our boy Zenogre its flowers real quick. Our top dog, our best fanged wyvern, the Thundercat Zenogre. Wait, is it a dog or cat?
It's a cat. I mean, a dog. No, it's a cat.
Yeah, the Thundercat Zenogre take our number 1 spot. Zenogre exudes a confidence unlike any other monster in the Monster Hunter series. Monster Hunter universe, excuse me. If Furious Rajang goes Super Saiyan when its fur glows yellow, then Zenogre goes Super Saiyan blue. Its glorious scaled design and potent lightning attacks make Zenogre a truly fantastic monster. Thanks to storing thunderbugs in its horns. Well, I guess I didn't know that piece of lore. Thanks to storing thunderbugs in its horns, it has the ability to supercharge itself with electric energy, which covers the arena in a light show rivaled only by a rave or late night club excursion. Anytime this brawny wyvern commands the screen, we welcome it with open arms, ready to lock horns with it. Zenogre is not a monster to be messed with, and one that we are always cheering for when it makes its return. Not only did Zenogre capture the hearts of fans when it debuted in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, but it captured the true spirit of the franchise. This creature is the blueprint for an excellent fight that contains fast-paced action, devastating power, and a rocking theme that worms its way into our brains. Man, yeah. I mean, I think that was beautifully said. Yep, I'm not mad at Zenogre being 1. It is definitely one of the most popular monsters from the Monster Hunter series, for good reason. You know, it's a fun fight as well. You know, actually, yeah, I agree. Having just the base Zenogre over the Thunderlord one, because the Thunderlord one kind of strips away like the aesthetic by just making it like silver and red and like black and white, right?
That's the Stygian.
Oh, the Stygian. Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm thinking. Oh shit! I don't think I've seen Thunderlord one.
Oh, it's pretty brutal.
Okay.
I think the Apex, Zenogre, and Rise was basically the design of
pretty much the same. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you've technically fought some version of it, but it's pretty gnarly.
No, yeah, the blue with like the almost like whitish yellow, and then the lightning effects and all that stuff. Like, and if it flips around, it like all the hits are super impactful.
He's definitely like a skill check, that's for sure. Like, he's one of those monsters where you're like, oh shit, I need to get good now.
Yeah,
he's fast.
I love when it spots you and it just kind of like cracks its neck. Like, you're not locked in here with me,
or I'm not locked in here with you. yeah, Zenogre is a great monster. Yeah, I think it's very deserving of number 1. But yeah, the overall top 25.
Yeah, what are the snubs? Yeah, what are the fucking snubs that we all feel?
I mean, you already know my pick. Fucking vagina, get the fuck out of here. The snubs.
No, I'm saying who would you slot? Like, forget who you would kick off. Who would you have slotted in, regardless of where it was?
Fucking no. I plus out is the fun answer. I think I revel in the fact that it's such a jank fight, but is like one of those things where it's like, okay, but it's not so bad to the point that it's like I'm miserable. It's kind of like a shared trauma thing where it's like, okay, this was fun, like, you know, because we're all getting fucking destroyed by this shit. I'd like a Plesioth in the top 25. It's not gonna make my top 10, but top 25.
No,
for sure.
Look, when I say things that should have made it, I'm not talking top 5. What's gonna make your top 25 list that wasn't listed?
Yeah, someone else go. I have to think about mine.
For me, it was Tigrex and Anjanath. I felt were robbed.
Mm-hmm.
Okidogi, probably on there.
Okidogi should be on there. Yeah, I think it's cool.
I would for sure say Kushala Daora is one.
Mhm.
Sure.
Kind of surprised that after it's blew up in World that now no Eletrion.
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
kind of a divisive fight in World, but I think a lot of people, it still has a long history with the series going back to sort of Try, and I'm pretty sure it was also in Generations. But I mean, that is a big monster that I'm kind of surprised didn't make it for being like a big cinematic end game fight.
Yeah. This is so fucking hilarious to me.
That's wild to me. Now,
yeah.
I think that Primordial Malzeno is like
so cool.
should be way up towards the top of the list. Like
Such a cool fight.
not below Behemoth and Legiana. Like for sure.
Get this shit out of here. Like,
Yeah, as much as I love Legiana, like it's definitely way too high on this list. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I will say that
I think it's underrated design, but not 22 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
I will
22.
say that Behemoth is an interesting fight, and that it sort of brings like the enmity, like aggro mechanics from like an MMO. Like it has unique mechanics to the fight that don't exist elsewhere in Monster Hunter, but like it just doesn't really feel like it fits in Monster Hunter to me that much.
Yeah, it feels
wrong. It's like picking the Leshen fight from like The Witcher. It's kind of its own event fight, but it doesn't really feel like Monster Hunter to me. It's like counting the Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker fight with Rathalos.
Exactly.
Like that's like it almost feels like a different game.
Which was fun in Peace Walker when we tried it. But yeah. I'm trying to think. In top 25 for me, we're missing like a Santor or like Hermitor, Daimyo Hermitor or something like that. Like I think aesthetically and like gameplay wise, I think that monster one looks fucking cool as shit. Like it has a fucking skull as a fucking like, shell. And then
don't they introduce it like as like just the skull and immovable at first, right? And then like it comes alive.
Yeah, and like one of the cutscenes I remember seeing something like that. I mean, like you like get into the monster hunter area or like the monster area, and it kind of just like then it starts moving, right? So I'm like, well, that's fucking cool as shit. It's a giant crab, so then like you kind of like it moves completely different from like anything else in Monster Hunter. Like, whenever you get kind of like dragon style monster like a Rathalos, there's like 20 other variants of like Kezu or like even like Yunkatku. They all have that kind of shift, like tail whip kind of like turn, and so you see like some recycled animations and stuff like that. But for Daimyo Hermitor or like a Santor, it's like, man, this is like a one of a kind of thing for me. I really dig that kind of monster.
So I'm looking through the Capcom's official 20th anniversary poll right now.
Oh, great! I'm very interested in this. Thank you for pulling this up.
So I'm looking at, for one, you're looking at Plesioth is at 91 on this poll.
I mean,
you were 90 off, Pat.
Hey, it's in top 100.
That's true.
Shara Ishvalda is at number 80 on this poll.
Oh, see, it makes it didn't seem too bad now.
Coming in close behind it is Vespoid Queen at 82.
80.
I think there was some meme voters there.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some pretty big shifts on here compared to the IGN's list.
What's the 200 spot? I'm curious. What's the bottom of the barrel? Like what is considered like the worst monster?
Steel Uragan. At 200,
really?
Steel Uragan is tied with Desert Celtis at number 228, probably with like 0 votes. It's like the Uragan subspecies or variant and the Celtis variant. Iodrome is at number 227 with probably like 1 vote.
Where's Tigrix and Anjanath? I'm very curious about that.
Let me find that up for you. Tigrix is at number 23 on this list.
That's about where I'd put it.
Anjanath is at 106.
Oh,
that's crazy!
Wow.
I'd put that like probably 25 personally, but I can understand a top 50. I would say top 50. Below a top 100.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's like that's like a skill check for for people who played World for the first time. Like that's like a fuck you monster.
That's below Vespoid Queen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna barf.
But there's a lot of interesting placements on here. The things that like only the old heads would know. Like a Cantor is at number 44.
Jeez.
Wow. Wait. This is community polled, right? Like this is like based on like people voting.
Votes. Like
does it say how many
regions? I don't know, but it was a lot.
Yeah.
Something like Dalamadur is at number 29. Gogmazios is at 28.
Wait. So what was their top three?
Their top three is Zinogre at 1, Nergigante at 2, and Lagaiacrus at 3.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yep. That's
and
that's what I thought it would be.
They have Velkhana at like 6.
Velkhana?
And a lot of the top 10 is although they have Ruin or Nergigante at number 9, which is kind of cheating. Like that's
2 nergs.
Wait. Where's Rathalos then?
107.
No, right next to
Rathalos is at 21.
Wow.
So some of this, it's not really fair because it's pooled. It's the votes are split between the different variants.
Sure.
So like Rathalos is at 21, Dread King Rathalos is at 66, Silver Rathalos is at 77, Azure Rathalos is at 112, Apex Rathalos is at 149. Like if you pooled all those votes together, then it would probably be higher than 21. It'd probably be in the top 10 for sure. It's just the way that the votes are split for these monsters that have a lot of variants.
Yeah. I'm curious what everyone of our audience seems to think of this list. What would you rank this list? Would you think that it's well done or well dung? You know, leave that information in the comments.
I love it the second time around too.
Better every time.
But that brings us to the end of this episode of the Palibros. Brian, Max, and Ryan, I want to thank you guys again for coming out for another episode. And of course, fellow hunters, I want to thank you for watching this episode of the Palibros. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode and want to keep up with us, you can hit that subscribe button on YouTube, or you can follow us on Spotify or any variety of other podcast services. Please give us a good rating so I can get me one of them chairs. Again, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. And until next time, happy hunting.